Hi guys, I'm Talia Chai and I'm a registered holistic nutritionist and I am here in the Hearty Soul kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make healthy candy apple donuts. Don't be intimidated by the title. They're gluten-free, they're dairy-free, and there's a lot of nutrients in them even though they're a delicious treat. First step is we are going to make a caramel sauce out of dates. Really rich in fiber and a ton of other minerals like calcium and phosphorus. The reason why they're the perfect thing to use instead of sugar and caramel is because they have this natural, amazing caramel flavor. Normally dates are pretty dry unless they're those really ooey gooey medjool dates. These are not medjool dates. You're just gonna soak them in hot water for like 10 minutes. It'll make them a million times easier to blend, you'll see. Take your soaked dates, plop them in your food processor, and then take a cup's worth of soaking water to help them blend. I'm gonna add some pure vanilla extract and a pinch of sea salt. And then, last but not least, some raw virgin coconut oil. The reason why I like to do that is because it helps to give it like a glossy sheen, so it just has this beautiful caramel-like texture. Process. It's gonna be a while. So you wanna get it as smooth and creamy as you can. So as you can see here, it's not exactly the same as like a gooey caramel texture, just because the ingredients are so different, but it tastes almost exactly the same. There you go. Refined sugar-free caramel. So easy, right? Yes. Next, what we're gonna do is I'm going to prep the apples. So you're just gonna cut the apple crosswise like this into like 1/4 inch thick little slices. Err on the side of them being a little bit thicker versus a little bit thinner so that they're just easier to work with. The apple slices are going to make up the dough part of our donuts, which is pretty amazing, right? Like completely flour and wheat free. So we have these gorgeous apple rings, and apples, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, are really rich in both soluble and insoluble fiber as well. And they are a really, 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 really healthy alternative to using any type of dough. So I line them up like this, and then what I do is I take like a 1.5 or 1 inch cookie cutter. So all you're gonna do is go into the center of each apple circle and just pop out the little middle that comes out. So that's pretty cool, huh? So this is like a perfect circle with a perfect circle inside. Looks really professional, but is so easy to do. Also a side note, this would be a great recipe to make with kids because they can get their hands in and like get involved, and I think it'd be a really fun one. And I'm gonna spoon out some of this gorgeous date caramel into one out of every pair. It's okay if it gets a bit messy. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna get a bit messy. Okay, so these are all lined up with the caramel on top. I'm gonna take the matching slice and just put it on top. Make little cute sandwiches. And then the fun part comes where we get to dip these into melted chocolate. When you're gonna be using chocolate to make it healthier, I would definitely recommend using chocolate that has at least 70% cocoa solids or higher. There's more fiber in it, there's less sugar, and it's a less processed chocolate, so you're actually getting some of the minerals in the chocolate. Real chocolate is really rich in magnesium, it's really rich in iron, and you get to consume all of those benefits, so it kind of makes chocolate healthy. Whenever I melt chocolate, I like to melt it with a little bit of coconut oil because it gives it, once again, that glossy sheen at the end, and it just makes it a little bit thinner and easier to work with. So I'm gonna place the coconut oil into the bowl of chocolate chips. What I'm gonna do is take you to the stove area, and over here I have a little pot that has some water in it and it's simmering. So I've placed this in a stainless steel bowl so it's completely heat proof and safe, and I'm just gonna place it on top. You don't want it to be too hot. It's on low. You just wanna make sure that the bottom of this bowl is not actually touching the water beneath it, because that's gonna create too much contact and too much heat and it could burn the chocolate. You just want it to sit above, and basically it's a lot of steam coming in and heating the chocolate that way. It's 80% done. I just turned off the heat. Grab a towel, it can get mighty hot. I'm gonna place this on the counter right over here. You can see there's still a couple of chunks, like chocolate chips, that haven't fully melted, but like that's exactly where I want it to be. And now you can see them just gently fully melting. Like, look at how glossy this is. Oh yeah, perfectly melted chocolate, if I do say so myself. I'm gonna take an apple ring like this, and I'm gonna drop it into the chocolate, and I'm just gonna gently push it down, smear the chocolate around on top to make sure it's fully coated, okay? And then you wanna have a parchment lined baking sheet or board or whatever you'd like ready to go, because you kind of wanna move somewhat fast at this point. So make sure it's fully coated in the chocolate. I'm gonna slide the fork underneath and gently lift. How good does this look? I know. And then I'm just gonna like let the excess, do a little bouncy dance like this, let the excess drip off because we don't need to go crazy. And I'm just going to gently place it on the mat and splatter it all around because it's more fun that way. Okay, so that's done. And now I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the rest of them. Okay, next comes the fun part. So think candy apples, right? You have your crisp apple coated with like caramel and chocolate. What is the essential part that's missing? Crunch, right? Yes. So what we're gonna do for crunch, instead of toffee or something unhealthy or sugary, I'm just gonna use almonds, so just nuts. What I like to do is toast them myself because I don't like buying nuts that have like added oils and salt and all this other stuff that is not necessary at all. And then just chop them up on your cutting board and you have fully chopped toasted nuts. This adds so much flavor, crunch, texture, and all I'm gonna do is sprinkle them on top. Oh my goodness. This is the best part, I think. So we have our beautiful candy apple donuts. That was not too complicated, right? Pop these in the freezer to set. You wanna pop them in until the chocolate is fully solid. I'd say like 20 to 30 minutes. Probably a solid half hour is something good to prepare for. You could even make them ahead and do it overnight. And then I'm gonna take them out and show you what they look like. All right, so you've patiently waited 20 to 30 minutes, pop them out of the freezer, and this is what they look like. They are so good. I can't wait for you to see this. Just a couple of tips here. I would transfer them from the freezer to the fridge after they've set, so that they're not frozen when you're eating them and they're more just freshly chilled and perfectly set with the chocolate. So if you're gonna do that, just throw them in the fridge for about an hour before you serve them or before you're ready to eat them, and then they'll be perfect. Then I would get some date caramel. You're gonna have a lot of extra. Put it in a bowl so you can dunk them. I'm gonna cut this in half so you have like perfect, cute little halves. They're adorable. And I'm actually gonna cut this one into a quarter just because this is on camera and I'm a really messy eater. And take your caramel, do a little dunky dunk. So good. Also really cold because these are right out of the freezer, but they're delicious and they're chocolatey and crunchy and amazing. Please let us know how it goes, how creative you got, how you liked it. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.